Hi guys, I'm Natalie Jill. Let's talk today about what is gluten-free and are there benefits to it, and should I be gluten-free or is it just a trend? Get a lot of questions about that, a lot of confusion out there. It seems to be signs and foods that say gluten-free everywhere. Is that something you should look at, and should you be it? That's what we're going to talk about today on Unprocessed Your Diet. Gluten is the protein found in wheat, rye, and barley. That's the simplest way to define it. Now, why should somebody be gluten-free? There's many different reasons, and I want to start with the main two. The first reason is if you actually are a celiac, and that's what I am myself. And a celiac is an autoimmune disorder where your body does not recognize gluten. It doesn't recognize it, does not digest it the way it should be. And your body responds in a lot of ways to it. Stomach pains, swollen lymph nodes, skin rashes, a whole host of things that will progressively get worse as you keep having gluten in your diet. And the only way to alleviate symptoms if you are a celiac is to completely take gluten out from your diet. And if you don't do that, your symptoms will progressively get worse. That's the first reason to be gluten-free. The second type of person that would need to be gluten-free is if you are gluten intolerant. And that is similar to being lactose intolerant. It just means that your body does not do well with gluten. It doesn't mean you have the autoimmune disease. It doesn't mean you're a celiac. Just your body does not do well with gluten. You may get very bloated. You might get a stomach ache. Or you just get really tired. There's a lot of different symptoms. And by eliminating gluten, you'll find that that can go away. So those are the two main reasons someone would want to avoid gluten. But there's another one that people fail to see, and this is important. Gluten-free, when you look at having a food without gluten, any unprocessed natural food, anything in its original state is gluten-free by nature. Everything, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, meats, all of that is gluten-free by nature if you're not adding anything to it. So when you eat an unprocessed food diet, you are eating gluten-free. And an unprocessed food diet is better for everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody would do better with an unprocessed food diet. So if you're thinking, should I go gluten-free? The question actually should be, if you're not a celiac or gluten intolerant, should I be on an unprocessed food diet? And the benefits with that are not arguable. Everything that once grew, or you could say once had a mom, is naturally gluten-free, and that is better for you. It helps prevent disease because it's heavily plant-based. It helps you with your energy. It helps avoid insulin spikes because we're not eating a lot of processed starches and sugars. It helps you have more energy. It helps you feel better, and it certainly helps control your weight. So an unprocessed food diet is better for everybody. Now, when you look at the processed gluten-free foods, so you see gluten-free cookies, gluten-free cupcakes, gluten-free pasta, all of that is processed foods. And when you make it gluten-free, what happens is you're not using the wheat or the rye or the barley, so you're not using the high fiber carbohydrates. And what happens is you're replacing them with lots of fats, lots of sugars, and the very quick digesting, higher starchy flours. And what happens is you're going to create a greater insulin response from that. And when you're creating a greater insulin response, you're not burning fat, and you're going to store fat while that's going on in your body. So, and also those types of foods will make you more hungry because you're having a higher sugar content. So when you eat gluten-free processed foods, you could start to gain weight. Anyone could start to gain weight if you're doing that. Especially type 2 diabetics, you want to really watch that, or if you are prone to getting type 2 diabetes, not type 1, type 2 diabetes. So a gluten-free processed food diet, I actually would not recommend for anybody celiac or gluten intolerant, and it's a special one-off treat. You want to have something and you're looking at that portion control. But an unprocessed food diet, which is gluten-free by nature, that I would recommend for everyone. Hope that helps shed some light on gluten-free and what it is, and if you should do it or not do it, and the difference between an unprocessed food diet and gluten-free processed foods. Thanks everyone for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.